You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege of interviewing the Sarah Lawrence head women's soccer coach, Coach Mauricio Grillo. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Brandon. Thank you for having me, and I'm looking forward to chatting soccer and more with you.
Thank you. Can you talk about how you knew that you wanted to get started in coaching in college women's soccer?
Um, I listen. I've always been in the obviously in the world of soccer, right? One capacity or another, but I've always needed to have long-lasting interactions with my athletes, and I was not getting that coaching club soccer, for example, or so that's when I started to realize that an important aspect of the way that I coach my team is based on those long relationship, and that's when I realized that college was gonna give me that aspect that I was not getting at club level soccer.
How was that experience like first getting started in coaching and going on the New York soccer club?
There was a pivotal moment, right? Every job I had allowed me to build up to where I am now. And I know this it sounds like a little cliche, but all of these jobs that I had were crucial, and I'll tell you why. Um, I relocated from Ann Arbor, Michigan to Chicago, and New York Soccer Club was the very first club that gave me the opportunity to coach when I relocated to New York in 2016, I believe. Uh, why were they pivotal? It's because that it they allowed me to get my name out here in the area, right? Uh, and so that was something that the AD considered when they interviewed me for the job. They knew that I was familiar. It would have been a completely different interview if I had not had New York Soccer Club on my resume as an experience, as local knowledge of the players, local knowledge of the fields, and all of that.
What was that transition like from coaching from club soccer to getting onto college soccer and coaching?
It was great because that's what I was looking for, right? I needed, I was looking for it and I needed that every single day connection with my athletes, right? And club soccer was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sometimes games if you are in season or not. So for me, there was an important transition in regards to what I was looking for. But I had to learn many things, right? College soccer is a completely different thing. It's got so many implications, so many rules, laws, regulations that club soccer doesn't have. So that was a bit of a, you know, learning step. Let's put it that way.
What was that transition like for you coming into college soccer and first getting started as the head coach?
Understanding that the coaching aspect, it's so much less than club soccer. Uh, right? Club soccer, you have your team, you coach it, and that's it. When in college, there is so much more. There is the relationship that you need to build, the relationship that you need to foster, the academic side that is three times more important than the soccer aspect. So you have to check on your athletes, how are they doing in classes, how are they feeling, their health and well-being. There is so much more into college soccer that often coaches don't understand when they think about getting into the world of college athletics.
Coming to Sarah Lawrence, what was that experience like for you being their head coach and getting started?
I was that was a unique opportunity for me because I was the second coach at Sarah Lawrence, right? The program here is, I believe, 9 years old. So it's a very young program. So the opportunity for me was, um, here you have it, a team that is on its second season. I will be the second coach. We're talking. Often you hear about stories. Oh, it's a rebuild. This one was. This one wasn't a rebuild. This one was just a beginning, and it was a unique opportunity for me. It wasn't. I didn't have to rebuild. I just had to literally, create a program, in my opinion. And so that was a unique. I thought it was a challenge that I wanted, and I was lucky enough to have the support of the athletic department here that shared my same vision. So um, we really navigated through the challenge very effectively and very quickly over the last 6 7 years, and now we have this program. And
As a coach, what has that been like building the culture and building the team around you?
it has been easy in quotes for me. I can see how this would not be as easy for a program that is well established or a longer lasting program, right? A program that has routines and they do things at their way. Why was it easy for me? Again, my program was it was young, when I got it. So um, we had conversations. I remember I remember my very first team meeting, I asked the team, this was 2016 or 2017. I asked the team, what kind of season do you want to have? What do you want? You are the first team here. What do you want to happen after your season? Do we want to have fun or do we want to compete? Um, and that answer was, we want to compete. And so we spoke and we said, this is what's going to have to happen. And we're never going to look back. And at some point, we will remember this day as the founding, the cornerstone of our program, and that's what really happened. It was a conversation that I had with that team back in 2017, and we built upon those rules that we set back in that August.
What was that feeling like stepping onto that soccer field for the first time as a head coach?
It's a great emotion. It's a great feeling. It's a great emotion. You practice with the team well in advance, right? You got your preseason, you getting to know your athletes, but that first game, when you see the officials start to show up, when the stands start to fill up, the music is going on the stand, and you're like, I am the head coach. This is my program now. You think, it's a great feeling. I don't remember thinking about the result as much as just the emotions that were running through me on that day.
For you as a head coach, what was that feeling like getting that first win as a head coach?
Funny, it's a funny feeling because my first game was a 2-1 defeat. And so when I got the second win on the second game, I was feeling, okay, fine. The AD is gonna feel comfortable on me, right? I was feeling like maybe they think that they made the wrong decision. So for some reason, I felt that win was gonna make everybody comfortable that I was a good coach. Um, so I remember it. I remember Brandon being like an emotion of like, okay, now they know that I can win too, right? That first loss was just a bad game. So I wasn't really concerned about winning it. I just remember being like, okay, I won my first collegiate game.
Can you talk about, of course, the culture that you built for the Sarah Lawrence program?
Um, we it's pivotal that we for us it's pivotal that we continue to follow the rules that we've set, right? Again, we are on our ninth season, and for the now, I think it's now for the seventh consecutive season, we have been reaching the semifinal at the very least of every the semifinal of the conference. In 2022, we won our conference. We went to the first round of NCAA. Uh, but to do that and to continue to be like that, we continue to have difficult conversations. Um, we know exactly who we want to be, meaning how do we want to perform on the team. And so I will give you an example. If for particular games we feel that a first year student is better suited for that game, the difficult conversations that we have are, this first year student is going to play this game. You, a senior, are not going to start this game. You're going to sit and watch the game, right? Uh, it's not an easy conversation to have, especially when you have seniors and you have had them for 4 years. But that's who we have at Sarah. So we are all on the mindset. The team comes first. We're gonna do what we have to do. I deliver a lot of unfortunate news to my athletes, but as long as I do it with integrity, uh, That's the way that we like to think about it. And so all of the girls push themselves on the field. They hold each other accountable. They play like they play every game like it's the last game, and it's a joy to watch how they support and how they push themselves on the field.
What does a typical game day look like for you as a head coach versus for your athletes?
Ah, for me, I we have a lighted field, so we like to play all of our games around 7 p.m. or so, under the lights. Um, but the game for me starts early. I, uh, I'm usually in the office at 9 a.m. And I start to prepare. I have an incredible amount of ritual things that I have to do, superstitious, whatever you want to call them. So I have to make sure that all my little gadget and things are in place. And then I start to think about the game. I start to prepare. I start to think about the formation, about what's been practicing. Then I connect with my assistant coaches. We have two assistant coaches on staff. I connect with them. I get their feedbacks. Say that usually around 3 p.m. It's when I start to meet. Around 5 p.m. It's when the athletes arrive. Uh, Little catch up. Whether we're waiting for the bus or we're doing a little final touch up. Off to the field we go. Music is blowing, music is going, everybody's ready to play. 7 p.m. kickoff, and that's it.
Who are some of the teams in your conference that you compete against?
The Skyline Conference is a unique, challenging, very competitive, not challenging, but very competitive conference. It's very diverse, and we love that. We have small private liberal arts school, Sarah Lawrence. We have large state schools, Farmingdale State. We also have a military school, U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. So it's a very interesting. Every game is very interesting. Everyone plays the game in a different way. It's very difficult to know who's going to have the lead or the edge over another team because we all recruit in so many different places and in different ways. And so it's very competitive conference, and it's fun to compete in the Skyline.
What is that home game atmosphere like when teams like Farmingdale comes to your home facility?
Those have become some fun rivalry. Again, think about Sarah Lawrence being this 13, 14 athletes team that on their first year lost every game 9-0, right? And now look at us now being competitive and making the semifinal. Those teams, those programs have watched us grow. And so with that, the rivalry has become bigger and bigger. And so those are fun, challenging games. I'm friend with all the coaches. We chat, we respect each other, but we're competing and I wanna beat them, they wanna beat me. And in the stands is the same way, right? We had our semifinal last night, which unfortunately uh, we lost at PKs. The stands were packed. There must have been, I would say, probably 300 people from both schools just chanting both sides of it, and it just was nonstop, and it was a great atmosphere. So it's fun. Game days are fun.
What is that away atmosphere like when going to teams like Marine Merchant?
Um, Also incredible. Also incredible, right? You go to a place like U.S. Merchant Marine, and the stand starts to fill up with cadets, and again, you look up and you see uh all these young gentlemen and ladies dressed in uniforms, and they're cheering on their team. It's a very unique atmosphere in every single stadium that we go to, really.
What have been some of the things that you've been able to accomplish so far as head coach?
Um, Numbers wise, going to the first round, winning our conference. We have I don't have the specific numbers with me. I think that we have 4 to 5 rookie of the year, about 3 offensive player of the year, 2 defensive player of the year, a couple of women of the year nomination. Um, I'm forgetting a few, but we've been doing good. And then again, as the team itself has been breaking records constantly. with numbers of wins and stuff. So um, also our another thing that I'm the most proud is how community active we are when it comes to community engagement. We always take pride to be part of any form of any to be engaged in any possible way that we can to help the community to make it a better place, and that's also something that we're extremely proud of.
What does that recruitment process look like for those prospective student athletes?
Young communication starts young. We follow rules and regulation of NCAA. But I will say that I start to have my communication for Sarah Lawrence starts when they are sophomores in high school. And I am fortunate to work for a school that allows me to have the budget to go out and recruit. And that's critical, right? Uh, I'm always in the West Coast. I'm always in Arizona. I'm always in Florida recruiting. I get on the plane and I start recruiting, right? Uh, and so after a sophomore reaches out to me, uh, my job is to go out there and watch them compete. And then the following years are all about learning each other, right? Do you want to play for me? Can I see you on my team? How are the communication that we're having? How are your parents as well? So uh, it's a long process.
As a head coach, what is it like seeing those freshmen put on that Sarah Lawrence uniform for the first time?
That's a it's a rush of emotion. Imagine, Brandon, imagine yourself finding a gem at this remote tournament, right? You know how good this athlete can be, right? You recruit them, and then you go through these ups and downs where sometimes they tell you, Coach, I don't know if I want to come. Maybe I'm coming. You finally get them to come to your school. Uh, you see how good they have developed, and then that game comes when you call them up and tell them, let's go. It's time to go in. It's a rush of emotion that for a college coach, it's difficult to explain.
What is that like getting to see them putting on that uniform for the last time as seniors?
It's the end of the journey. Whether we like it or not, the numbers, the percentage of these athletes that are going to end up playing professional level, it's really low, right? So they know it as well. They know it that that's the end of the journey. They know that this is really the last time that they're going to play for a team. They're gonna go and probably play. I'm saying that they can play indoor, they can play in the leagues, but as a team, that's it. And you always have that look, right? They always give you that there is always that those eyes in interacting, and then you get them, and they're like, okay, this is it. And there's always a hug, and they know exactly. It's almost like you're feeling the same emotions.
How's that like getting to see them putting on that first NWSL jersey or even their first coaching polo?
That's an extreme. It's a moment of pride for you, for your school, for your program, right? Um, we also have been fortunate. We are fortunate to have athletes on my program who have represented their national team. And so just to watch them try to compete and try to qualify for the World Cup, or watch them, watch our assistant coach, who's our goalkeeper coach, go play professional at Southampton in England, right? It's when you watch them on TV, you're like, oh, it makes it just a rush of pride, and you it's an amazing feeling.
Of course, how is that like, obviously, as you said, having an assistant coach that has that experience playing professionally, bringing it to the college level with you?
I have um, it's it's an incredible source of information. It's valuable. It's important. It's much needed, right? It gives you the opportunity to deliver the plan that you have designed. What do I mean by it? Every morning you wake up and you're thinking, this is what I want to do at practice. Imagine if I don't have a goalkeeper coach. Instead of doing what I wanted to do, I have to change the whole practice to make sure that the goalkeeper are included, or maybe I'm working with them a little bit. It's critical for the way that I run my practice, to have the help of the goalkeeper coach, our assistant coach, and everybody else, managers, people that athletes, students who can help even in the most basic way, just by setting up the cones so that you have the opportunity to talk to your team on the sidelines. Even stuff like that helps a lot.
What are some of your future plans for the program moving forward?
Um, we have a goal, we have a dream of continuing to challenge ourselves, continuing to push ourselves. Our dream is at some point to, in the future, to try to become a team that is nationally ranked, whether it will be for a week or 2 weeks, but that's our next dream, right? It's continue to deliver, continue to perform, try to win confidence again, play those difficult games that are gonna get you one day to become a nationally ranked team.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college soccer?
I'm sorry, my audio broke up.
What advice would you give those incoming freshmen entering their first year of college soccer?
Learn, learn, learn about forget about soccer the way that you know it, and learn about what do you need to do to compete at college level. Because the soccer that you have been experiencing, it's a completely different one that you're about to see. College is a lot more physical, is a lot more intense. You're probably coming from a team that has been telling you run, 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 and you're coming to a college program where I'm going to tell you stop running and understand when you should be running more and when you should be saving your energy. So imagine me telling a first year student, you don't need to run now. You just need to save your energy for the last 10 minutes of the game. So my advice would be learn about what the coach wants from you. Play soccer the way that she needs you to play soccer.
What advice would you give those college juniors transitioning into being seniors and leading the program?
Find the balance. Find the right balance. You are, you know, you are starting now. You know what we need from you. Now you know how we want you to play. All you have to do is just start to learn to deal with fatigue, with also with also external factors that are coming in, right? You're a junior, you're a senior, you're starting to think about jobs, graduation. What am I gonna do? Right? Those can have an impact on the way that you play soccer. And so learn how to balance all these emotions and set yourself up for a great finishing of your career. Learn how to deal with your body being in pain, and you will be in pain, uh, and set yourself up for a great finish.
What advice would you give those college seniors that have aspirations of playing professional soccer in the NWSL?
Mindset, mindset. Everybody talks about the way, but very few walk it, right? It's all about mindset. It's what do you do when you're not, when you're nobody's watching? What do you do when you're just done with college and you know, what do you think? You're just gonna go send an email to someone and pretend and show up at the tryout and pretend to be seen? No, just mindset. Go on your backyard, pick the ball up just like you were doing when you were 13 years old. Work on your joggles, work on your touches, work on your skill, right? You have to want to be there.
What advice would you give those college soccer players looking to go coach in collegiate or professional soccer?
That um you have to do your research. That you have to do your research. I would have not built a program that is consistently going to playoff, that is consistently reaching the semifinal, without the support of the department, right? Do you have the facility that you need? Um, are they going to give you the budget to travel and recruit? Can you do camps and clinics? Those are all more so those are all important aspects that a coach needs to be aware of, right? If you could get a job and you're all happy, but what if you get a job in a school that doesn't have a field, or it doesn't have transportations for you, or doesn't allow you to go out and recruit, doesn't have the budget to go out and recruit. So do your research. Find the right place that aligns with who you want to be. If you're okay being a local coach who's going to rely with local clubs, great. You're going to be in a great spot. But if you want to be a coach that goes out and recruit at a national level, you need to find a department that is going to give you the funding to do that. And then when you get the job, settle in, breathe. There is so much that needs to be learned, from compliance to rules, regulations, laws, homeworks, academic requirements. Oof. Arm yourself with patience and enjoy the ride.
What advice would you give those head coaches looking to get started in building their own program?
To have their own vision. What is the vision? What vision do you have? Because it's not. I'm telling them it's not just going to be about the game. The game is just what wraps up a week of practice. But what is your vision? What do you want to do? What are you going to recruit? Who do you want to recruit?
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the soccer program?
Sorry, Brandon, come again?
Where can my listeners find you on social media along with the soccer program?
I can't hear you. I apologize. My phone is breaking up. My audio is breaking up.
Where can my listeners find the soccer program on social media along with you?
I can't.
Social media.
Yes.
Where can my listeners find the social media at?
Where my recruits can find, when people can find our social media, we're present in every. We're present on Facebook. We're present on Instagram, TikTok. We use in different ways, right? TikTok, for my program, TikTok is more of the fun social media. The Instagram is the one where we do the one where we're all about serious pictures and we post results. Tweet X or whatever it's called now. I forgot the exact name. That's where we are more of like updates about what we're doing. All of this information, if you go on a school and you look at if you look at the particular program, you will see that most of the colleges have the social media that they use listed right next to their program. So that's where you go and you click.
Thank you again for your interview, and best luck in your future at Sarah Lawrence as the head soccer coach.
Thank you again, Brandon, and my apologies for the audio breaking up.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again for your interview, and best luck in your future.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.